If you haven't heard of Form yet, buckle up because you're about to be hooked. Form is a digital platform for all things fitness, wellness, and self-love. Their workouts are designed to encourage you to be the best version of you. You can explore movement, nutrition, mindfulness, and a new wellness community. I am absolutely obsessed with Form. It's the perfect way to sneak in a workout while traveling because they have so many different types of workouts like Pilates, strength, HIIT, and different durations that are super effective. So when you're in a pinch, you can still move your body and feel ready to take on the day. I love the team at Form, and I think they've built an incredible community, which is why they are offering a 20% off annual membership to Martinis and Bikinis listeners. So my little teenies, you can use code Martinis Bikinis on joinform.com to redeem. That's Martinis Bikinis on joinform.com. All you have to do is enter promo Martinis Bikinis at checkout. Form is an easy to follow program and effective. So there's something for everyone. Can't wait to hear what you think. Why, hello, and welcome to Martinis and Bikinis. I am your hostess, Veronica Droulia. Today, my little teenies, we have a super cutesy episode with the cutest human alive, Shelby Silva. I met Shelby last year while I had my little hiatus in LA, and we just instantly clicked. Her bright and infectious energy is so contagious, and I was just giggling to myself watching this episode back. She is such a breath of fresh air, and she's also the director of operations at Form and Shop Form. Literally all the girlies are doing Form lately, and I wanted to bring on the gal who knows all the ins and outs of the platform. She is seriously so multifaceted and such a go-getter. Shelby is also a fit model, which we will get into in the episode. We are also going to chat about our Kindle obsessions, dating, and just a bunch of fun girly stuff. This is such a fun episode, and I can't wait for you guys to meet Shelbs. I think my favorite thing / compliment to hear from you guys is that when you're listening to the show, it feels like you're catching up with friends. This episode is the epitome of what this podcast was founded on. Good old girl chat. So without further ado, my little teenies, please welcome Shelby Silva to Martinis and Bikinis. Hello, and welcome to Martinis and Bikinis, the podcast for everything under the sun. I am your hostess, Veronica Droulia, and I am here to help you navigate your 20s through all things lifestyle, beauty, and fashion. So, if you're ready, let's dive into today's episode. I'm so excited to drink these. Okay, I just went to the W in Hollywood, and I was looking at the menu at cocktails, and you had mentioned that you wanted a margarita spicy. And on their menu, it said, damn good margarita.
Stop.
And I was like, this is it.
Stop.
Fresh orange juice, bitters, like it's going to be amazing. So
good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm so excited to have you on. So Shelby, welcome to Martinis and Bikinis.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
thanks
so
for coming
excited.
on.
And for a martini on a Friday.
It's good.
That is so good.
Accidentally got some ice cubes in there.
Honestly,
But it's okay. It'll be chilled. But I am so excited to have you on. I feel like we have been talking about this for a hot second. And because I'm in New York and you're here in LA, it's hard to make it work, obviously, for geographic reasons. But I have just been like obsessed with you, your energy for so long. And I know we met whenever I was living out here last February for the month. And I hosted this little paint and sip for just girls that are doing cool shit. And it was so nice to meet you and your friends. And it was great because you had no idea who I was. And you were just like, yeah, sure, I'd love to come. So I think it just definitely demonstrates the type of person that you are and like just this positive, uplifting energy. And I'm just so glad that you're on the show today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And thank you for, the kind words. I remember that event and our mutual friend Claire, who I think was who sent you my information.
Instagram, yeah.
And I remember you telling me like, Claire said I just had to have you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And like Claire and I had met one time. It was just so sweet. And it was such a fun event. And everyone that you had there was so unique and that we were all like doing different things, but meshed so well. No one knew each other, but everyone was just chatting and mingling. It was such a great event. I really loved it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I like love just being creative and using my hands. And it's nice because I feel like we're so glued to screens, whether that's computers, phones, whatever. And I think it's nice to just kind of get together with the girls and do some fun, like creative things like that.
I so agree. A paint and sip. I mean, sign me up. I'm always down.
I know. Well, it's crazy because you are actually working for Form. You're the director of operations. And whenever I first got started on my wellness journey, per se, I actually went to this retreat called Camp Conscious. And I met Sammy Clark, who is the co-founder of Form. And she like spent the week with us and we did her workouts in the mornings. And she is just such a good soul. I don't know how else to explain her. Like, she's just so pure.
No.
And the way that she comes across online is exactly how she is in person. And whenever I found out that you worked for her, I was like, oh my gosh, like we were just clicking on so many different ways. But I absolutely love what you guys are doing. And I mean, like you said, you're the producer, and it's cool to like just see like all of the incredible launches that you guys have done and all these upcoming things that are just making this become even bigger than it already is. But I would love to know like how you got started with Form. And like, I know you actually started with a career coach. I was listening to your episode with the Sammys, and I'd love to learn more about that as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for just being a Form supporter. And I love that you've known Sammy since like her pre-Form days. It's so fun because she's the same person but has just like grown and established this brand that's changing so many lives. So it's really special to be a part of it. And I actually, I mean, the way that I got connected with the company was unique, but I worked with a career coach in college because I just had zero idea what I wanted to do. And it was a senior year, and you know, everyone asks you like where are you moving to? What kind of job are you going to get? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I feel I'm so stressed. I was so worried that I wasn't going to get a job. And then everyone tells you just say yes to the first job that you get and you can find another one if you don't like it. And that just didn't sit right in my gut. And the first job I got was at a really big tech company. And I was like, I know if I take this, I'm going to be so miserable. Like, I need to listen to my gut and figure out what will actually make me happy. And I was also like, but I don't know like what my gut is telling me. And my mom was like, okay, speak with this career coach. Like, let's see what you guys figure out. And she connected me, and it was essentially a like business therapist. And she just had me take a bunch of strength tests and personality exams. And we kind of like figured out what I really enjoyed. And it ended up being health and wellness, which I've always been a fairly healthy kid, even growing up, just like a very healthy household. I was always super active, and I never thought that that would translate into my career in the future. And so when I worked with her and she said that I should focus on the health and wellness industry for whatever job I take, I started there and I got my first job at ClassPass, which was awesome. It's what brought me to New York, and I moved out there, and I really loved it. It was like dipping my toes in the corporate world, but also it was still kind of a smaller company. So I got to do a little bit of everything when it came to like corporate wellness. And then COVID hit, and that's what brought me back to LA. And I was still working at ClassPass at the time. And it was just heavy, heavy computer work and phone calls. And I just realized that was not my jam. Like, I am way more social. I prefer to be out of my apartment, like doing things. And so I started looking for just part-time gigs, even coffee shops or front desk at Pilates studios, like anything to just get me the social interaction that I wasn't receiving from my job. I was just applying to for fun. And it was at that time that Sammy Clark had posted that she wanted part-time help. And I reached out, I sent in my resume. I had a feeling she was getting so many applications, but I was like, I'll just see what happens. And I ended up getting a reply, which is so funny to think about, because knowing Sammy now, like, the girl does not check her email. Her inbox was so insane when she first brought me on. So the fact that my resume like made its way through the cracks was just insane that I think about now. And her and I ended up meeting for coffee with JT. And the three of us totally hit it off. And then it was after that initial coffee meeting that we kind of started this, not like, I guess it was an interview process. Like I would go over to her house and work with her for the day. I met other Sammy at breakfast, and we were all just kind of like slowly getting to know one another. And then they decided to bring me on part-time to help Sammy on the personal side, as well as launch Form, because Form hadn't been built yet. We were in the process of launching it. And so I came on to help with both. And then it's kind of just been a wild ride since then, and has definitely evolved into a lot of different positions.
Oh my gosh, that's like so incredible that whenever you worked with your business therapist, career coach, that she kind of made this roadmap for you based on your own individual preferences, based on these like personality tests and things like that. And I feel like that's not something that we even think to do, which makes a lot of sense. But it's great that you ended up in a role that fulfills you and like just speaks to your personality. And I'm sure it's just a wonderful place to work, and the environment that they've created is really incredible. Mm-hmm. And I, for one, love Form. I love doing the workouts. And I know that you are obviously such a fan of the workouts yourself, because I've seen your videos on TikTok of the 7-day ab program. And oh my God, you guys, I have never seen results like this.
It's crazy.
You can tell that it's not just like physical too, though. It's like mental, like emotional. Like I think the results from those programs are so fulfilling on just a spiritual level as well, because it's very motivating, empowering, and it like makes you so much more confident. But I have to know, like, I haven't actually done the 7-day ab program, and I need to do it, because you obviously looked amazing like before, and you always looked amazing, but it's crazy how much like definition and like muscle toning that did over just like a very small amount of time.
Yeah, it's so silly to think of my TikToks and like sharing them, because I think growing up I never would have posted about the workouts that I was doing or like ab videos, like anything like that, and it just kind of became something that I was trying for fun for Form, and it ended up like the community of girls really liked to see it. And obviously people enjoy to see like the physical changes, but the mental changes and spiritually what you were speaking to are so much more impactful than the physical ones, because your physical changes, they come and they go. Like you can fluctuate, and the way you feel and how strong you are, like that can always change. But the mental strength that you build, even just following 7 days of 15-minute ab workouts, like to be able to commit to doing something like that is huge. And that is an accomplishment within itself, no matter how you look before, how you look afterwards. Like that's something to be proud of. And Form is so unique because it's not, like I love that you've used it before, and it's more than just workouts. It's a wellness platform. Right. And I also followed like our recipes during those 7 days, and I've done our 14-day programs, and it's just a fun way to hold yourself accountable for seeking certain fitness goals or transformations that you want. So I'm so grateful. I love posting my TikToks. They're like so silly, but really
you're
fun.
So good at it. You're so good at it. But yeah, I guess like for those that don't know what Form is, it's basically this platform that Sammy Spalter and Sammy Clark started that has Pilates, strength training, all these different programs, nutrition. There's also activewear now. Yeah. There's meditations, but I think it's absolutely incredible. And I feel like they've created such a cool community. And I know that it's like girls all over the world, which is amazing that we can all come together and have this like shared interest and really bond over fitness and wellness. And it's incredible. I've met girls randomly that are like, oh, have you heard of Form? I'm like, actually, like my friend works for them.
Oh, that makes my day.
And it's like girls from like random places in the US. And they're like, oh my gosh, every time I travel for work, that's what I use, or I do this on a day-to-day basis. And it's really, really cool. But going back to your TikToks, I have to ask you about one in particular that's completely irrelevant. the red carpet TikTok.
Oh my gosh. The one that I snuck onto?
Yes, you have to explain because it is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I just love that you had that in you.
It is, oh my gosh. I have to say it's one of my best moments. I have always been the person, I don't even know how to say it, but I could sneak my way into anything. If there's a line for something, I'm finding a way to cut it. Like I don't know. If I don't have a ticket for a concert, I'm still going to go to the concert. Like I can just like figure out these things. So I show up to Sunset Tower Hotel for my friend's birthday. And as I'm walking in, there's this huge red carpet for the Emmys. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it was the Emmys. And I'm not thinking anything of it. And then we have dinner, a few drinks, and I walk out and I'm with my girlfriends and I'm like, I'm getting on that carpet. And they were like, yeah, right, whatever. They leave me. And I walk up to the lady that was checking people in and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so late. Is there any way I can still walk the carpet? And she was like, of course. Like, what is your name? And I'm like, Shelby Silva. She's like, go ahead, Shelby, go ahead. I'm like, thank you. I walk out there. Keep in mind, I had come from a pool party. So my hair was so frizzy. My outfit I looked so disheveled. Like it was not my finest moment. But I walk out there and all of a sudden all the camera people are like, Shelby over here, Shelby over here. And I'm posing. Like I was striking poses left and right. I totally strut across the red carpet. They try to usher me into the event. I don't know why I didn't go. I think because my friends, I looked back and no one was there. I'm like, wait, they didn't see me do that. So I run off the red carpet and I go find them. And I'm like, guys, like, did you just see me walk the red carpet? And they totally thought I was kidding. And then the next day we searched Shelby Silva and all my very rogue red carpet pictures were all over Google. It was so funny.
No, that is the most badass story I've ever heard in my life. Like, who has the guts to do that? And I absolutely love that you did that because I also overheard in the podcast that you just did for Transform that you are an of course girl. Mm-hmm. And I want you to explain that a little bit more.
Oh my gosh. I think it comes from, I don't know, actually, I don't know where it comes from. Somewhere growing up, but I've always hated the word sure, yup, and nope. Those three, for some reason, they just make me cringe. Mm-hmm. And I never say them. And I've always said, of course, or absolutely to anything that's a yes. Because even I feel like a yes isn't as powerful as an of course or an absolutely. It just shows that you are game and you're down for anything. And it also has a flair of positivity where a yes or a yeah isn't as exciting. So I just respond, of course, to literally everything and everyone. And I encourage everyone else, instead of saying sure or yup or yeah, just start saying of course. And like, you'll notice that the person that you're speaking to, it'll make them smile or they'll start to reciprocate a little more and like they'll use that word with you. And I feel like it just carries more weight than the other ways that you can respond, like accepting or declining something.
It's such an energy shift.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I heard you say that, I was just immediately calmed. And I think that's really interesting. Just our choice of words can really impact our energies with each other and like the way that we respect one another. Mm-hmm. Because whenever you get like an okay or sure, yep, it's like a little less just, I don't know, like less energetic.
I agree. And it's more meaningful when you use words that feel more special. It's not just like a universal yes. It's and of course, and like I want to be here to support you and I'm here to help you. I feel like it just carries more meaning than other words.
Yeah. And I think that kind of ties back to community in a sense. It's something that I think we need to survive. Mm-hmm. And I think what you guys have done at Form is just that, is creating a really amazing community of women that are empowering each other. And it's interesting because I just did a street interview for this community-based wellness platform in New York. And I was talking to the interviewer and she does a show called the It Girl series. And I was asking her, I was like, so like, what is like the criteria for that? And she was like, well, it girls are nice girls. And I loved that. I loved that because I think in order to be this like empowering, cool person, it's so important to be nice and to just have like a community that surrounds you that also has those characteristics.
So
and I feel like that's what Form is. It's like cool, nice, like hot girls that are like interested in wellness and like want to empower each other. And I think it's really awesome. And I think from what I can see, that's the essence of what you guys are creating is community.
Yeah, our community it's the reason we do anything at Forum. Like, we're so here to just support those girls, and whatever they want, we're going to figure out a way to get it to them. And our community is also crazy. I was at the gym this morning and the girl in front of me was doing a Form workout on her phone, had no idea who we were. The whole Form team was there and she was just doing the Form workout right in front of us. And then this other girl came up to me right after that and I was wearing my Form activewear and she was like, oh my gosh, is that the Form set? And I was like, yes. And she was like, it sold out before I could get it. Like, this is my sign. I need to get it. And I was like, yes, you do. Like, she was so
You're like, what's your shipping address?
Yeah. I'm like, actually, let me send it to you.
You're like, I know a girl.
It was so cute. And the way that the girls feel so comfortable just like coming up and talking about it, you can just tell that anyone who uses the platform is also so passionate about it, no matter how often or how they're using it. And yeah, it's just fun. Like, we have WhatsApp groups for, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many cities around the world. And these girls are just texting in them, asking who wants to go on a walk this Saturday, like who wants to grab coffee. None of them have ever met, and they'll go on these walks and they'll send us a picture, and it's like, just met some of my best friends through the Form community. And we're just so fortunate. We're doing so much more than just fitness and wellness. The community's huge and so important, like you were saying.
Absolutely. I need to get my hands on some of that activewear. I like need to set alarms.
I need
on
to
my
send
phone.
you some.
Oh
I know.
God. I would literally try. It looks so comfortable and it looks like it doesn't like ride down, which I feel like is super important when it comes to activewear. I feel like I have so many different sets that like are so cute, but they just like don't stay. And I think it's great to have activewear that's formulated by a fitness instructor who wears it 24/7 and the team wears it 24/7. So you guys can have input on what's working, what's not. And I think that's what's really cool about that.
Yeah. Activewear is its own beast. Like, we knew we were going to come out with it because it just makes sense. Sammy's always recording these workouts. Girls are asking, what set are you wearing? We're like, we need to come out with Form activewear. Like, it's silly not to. And because she lives in it, oh my gosh, we tried so many fabrics, so many styles. Like, we were very particular before we put out any piece. And we still are with collections. Like, we would rather push a collection versus release something just because we haven't released something in a while. Like, we need to make sure everything's perfect so that the girls want to live in it. Instead of, it's just meant to be worn all the time.
It's a uniform.
Yeah, it's a uniform. Exactly.
But I would love to hear what your day-to-day is like, because I feel like it's probably pretty all over the place considering you guys have so much going on. But what is it like working there?
Yeah.
Like on the day-to-day?
Oh my gosh, loaded question. No, I'm kidding. It's
kind of.
so different every day. Like, it truly depends. This week, a day in my life was...
This is a day in my life.
Let's just see. We typically start meetings and things around 10. So this week did a Form workout in the morning.
That's so cute that you guys do that together.
Oh yeah. And it's like a family. Like, our team is 8 girls now, and we all just want to hang out with each other. So it's like going to the office is just hanging out with your friends, getting work done. And then that's the exact same thing like with a workout. Like, we'd prefer to hang out with one another versus like not see each other during the week. So we're always just at the office working. And this week was a lot of prep for a photo shoot. My traditional days, I have a lot of meetings. So just meeting with brands or other team members, like internal meetings. But this week specifically, we have a huge activewear collection dropping in July. So we have a campaign photo shoot next week. So a day in my life was meeting with our art director who will be helping like with our shot list. So I'm confirming the shot list, making sure we have the right like activewear pieces being featured, and then also meeting with our photographers and videographers, making sure that they're all set, booking the models, booking the location, anything that like comes along with a photo shoot. That was a huge part of my day this week. And then we're also doing an e-com shoot next week, so making sure that we have those models booked. We're honestly pushing it a little close with our samples and things. So just like constantly tracking those and making sure our back end of the shop is like working properly. And oh my gosh, my day sounds actually, this like sounds like a week worth of stuff. But I swear this is like one day's work.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's wild.
Yeah, it's fun. And so that's like the activewear portion of my job. Then the form portion, one day this week, we have Brinley Joyner, who's our new gym trainer. Incredible. Like the best workouts.
That's
Thank
a
you
huge
so
announcement.
Much. It was huge. And it was like what some of our girls wanted, and then what so many new girls have just like joined Form to experience. Brinley's incredible. And so she's coming out with a program in July. So this week I was working with her and her videographer to do like video uploads and organization for that within the app. So every day is so different, and I touch various aspects of the company. So each thing it's ever changing.
Oh,
yeah, it's so fun.
You were doing so much, and it definitely shows, because I feel like everything looks so seamless and perfect. And
so appreciate that.
it looks very pristine. You guys are just rolling out things like so well. You can tell that it's done so quality, and you're thinking about every little detail, especially the shoots and the actual programs that are launched, and it's amazing. So in terms of like wellnessy woo-woo stuff, I'd love to hear more about like your routines, because I'm sure you have to keep one to manage all the different things that you do. What does your morning look like? What does your PM look like? Like, I don't know what time you get off of work, but your after work hours. I'd love to hear the scoop.
Honestly, I'm still working on it. It's hard for me to have a set routine just because each day for me is so different. So my morning routine is very small. I'm not a coffee girl. So I really wake up and I wish I had that ritual. I wish I wanted to make a matcha or like make a coffee or anything like that. But I truly just wake up, hopefully squeeze a workout in the morning, and then I'm headed off to work, or like I'm at my computer for the rest of the day. My night routine, I feel like, is where I shine. But once I'm closing my laptop, I'm obsessed with my Kindle. Like my Kindle and I have a very intimate relationship. Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I cannot put it down. I'm obsessed. So I read through the night. I'll cook dinner, and then I'll be in bed, I'll read, and then I'll fall asleep. Like I'm that obsessed with my Kindle.
What do you read?
Oh my gosh.
Is it like the fairy stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that what you're reading?
I just finished A Court of Thorn and Roses series.
I have 20% left of the last
because
book.
I was kind of jumping back and forth between like a nonfiction and that. And I just finished it completely. Like the whole series.
I'm so obsessed. Like I'm gonna go home after this and read. Like it's that crazy. I started.
You're going to Prithian.
Yes. No, literally. Oh my no. I'm so obsessed that I'm showing my roommates fan art. Have you looked up fan art of these characters?
No. Oh, actually, I will get like targeted, like suggested videos about the fan art and who they want to cast for the show. And it's really wild.
It has me in a chokehold. Like it's gnarly.
The little elf ears.
Yes.
The fairy ears.
I cannot. I started with like smut books, like Colleen Hoover vibes.
Same.
And I would be like sitting on the couch with my roommates, cracking up to myself, like smiling, like reading these pages while they're watching TV. And oh my gosh, some of them were crazy.
They're really wild. Verity, that one's nuts.
Insane. That one actually gave me nightmares.
I read that on a plane.
No.
I finished the whole thing.
No way. No, that one actually scared
hooked.
me. It was really good. It Ends With Us was the one that started my reading journey. Like I was not a book girl.
Movie.
I know,
or is it a
so
show?
excited.
It's a movie.
Movie.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so fun. And then everyone started talking about The Fourth Wing, and then A Court of Thorns and Roses, and like all these books. I was like, okay, I'll try fantasy. Obsessed. Cannot put these books down.
No, it's once you go fantasy, you are never going back.
Never going back.
I don't know what to do now.
I know. I'm nervous to finish the books.
So I know you have been in a long relationship. Mark, what does he think of your obsession?
Oh my gosh. Mark, okay, so he's a dentist. And he literally texted me yesterday. He was like, I was with my patient who walked in reading her Kindle. And he was like, I can't get my girlfriend to put her Kindle down. And he said his patient started recommending all these books that I need to read. So Mark's texting me all these books. He's like, she's saying you got to read this and this and this. I'm like, already read it, on my list. Like, it was crazy. He says I'm spending more time with my Kindle than with him. So I got to work on that balance, you know?
Yeah, it's okay.
I can't
Maybe
figure it out.
Maybe he should go to Prithian with you.
I so agree.
I have a guy friend that's reading it right now, and he loves it.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I can see why they would be obsessed.
Yeah, it's not like just like sexy time.
No, it's powerful. You're going to learn a lot.
It's creativity.
Exactly. It's so funny.
That's amazing. I love my Kindle. I bring it with me everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's great because I think a lot of people will ask me whether I prefer a physical book or a Kindle. And for me now, I will say Kindle. I always used to say physical book, but I think it's just so much easier to download books. And it's great to travel with.
Yeah.
And you can bring it anywhere.
I know.
Coffee shops, on the go. In New York, I bring it on the subway with me.
Yes.
So I'm a big Kindle fan.
Yeah, me too. Especially like at night. You don't have to keep the lights on to read. Like you can just, my Kindle like goes black. So it isn't like that much light in my eyes before falling asleep. And then so I'll just read that. I'll get tired and I'll close it and pass out.
Yeah.
It's great.
Going back to not being a coffee person, I'm actually reading this book right now. And I just talked about this in my last episode, but I'm obsessed with it. It's called Biohack Like a Woman.
Okay.
And it's about biohacking and basically how we can prevent our bodies from having glucose spikes throughout the day. And when you have coffee first thing in the morning, it actually causes like an extreme glucose spike. And it stays that way for the rest of the day. So it's great that you aren't a coffee person. But how do you stay energized? I have to know your secrets.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Everyone's always like, it's so good that you're not a coffee person. And I'm over here like, I wish I could drink coffee. Like I'm forcing myself to drink lattes because I want to enjoy it. I just don't like the taste of it.
Yeah.
So I love matcha. If I like really need energy or I'm like at a coffee shop in the morning, I'll order a matcha or an iced tea. And then for energy, honestly, like what are they? Like supplements, I guess, like energy, like powder type things. Absorb More. It's this newer company that has this energy packet. I'm addicted to it. It tastes so good. I drink it literally every morning. It's also, I'm getting my electrolytes and vitamins. That's a big energy thing for me, but it's called Absorb More.
Absorb More.
It's Ian
it's
Somerhalder.
Called Absorb More.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that it does.
Oh, it lets you absorb more. No, it's called Absorb More. It's Ian Somerhalder. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
And Nikki Reed.
They're so cute.
So freaking cute. And so this is their company, and they have 4 different packets, and I literally love them all. But their energy one I have it every day. It's so good. But I do wish I enjoyed coffee because I feel like there's something special about being in a new city and going to check out a coffee shop, and like all my friends can taste if like this coffee shop's coffee's good or like this one's bad. And I'm over here like, they all taste bad to me. Like I wish I appreciated it. I'm like, this tastes like gasoline.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I feel like we all have like different taste buds, and it's interesting how some people prefer things and some people just absolutely despise it. But for those of you that do like coffee, a little good hack is putting some MCT oil and collagen in your coffee, and that's supposed to help your glucose levels. But I'm a big matcha girl myself. Yeah. I love a matcha, almond milk, honey. That is my vibe.
I so feel that. What else did the book say about, what were the other things within biohacking?
So I'm like still reading it, but in the first few chapters, it talks about how you really don't have to just change your diet overnight, but you have to learn how to structure your meals and how to eat properly. So you start with your fiber-rich veggies. So even if you're just like making dinner, you can have some cucumber slices or some avocado, and then you'll move on to your proteins and fats, and then you'll have your carbs, and then you'll have your sweets. And it's supposed to prevent cravings. It's supposed to just help your digestive system. But it's crazy how just rerouting the way that you eat can really make a difference in your overall health.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's similar to like having a balanced plate and like knowing exactly what you need to be eating.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people don't know that, or like the order that you should be eating certain things. It's so important.
Absolutely. Are you a big cook?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I've gotten a lot
Tell us
better.
more.
Well,
what have you made?
Oh my gosh. The thing I cannot stop making is the Baked by Melissa Green Goddess salad.
Yum.
Have you tried it?
No, but I keep seeing the videos.
It's so good. And it's not even just like the salad dressing. I mean, the dressing's insane. But the base of the salad is just like diced up cabbage, cucumber, and then like a few other things. And I'll just make a huge like bowl of that base and then a few different dressings out on a Sunday, and I'll have that like throughout the week and just throw different proteins in it. But I'm obsessed. I always have to have some sort of salad in the house. And then at night is when I'll usually get a little more creative. I have this lemongrass meatball recipe that's really good, Tuscan chicken. I don't know, I like to have a little bit of fun in the kitchen. I can't just make like a chicken and rice and broccoli meal.
That's boring.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's therapeutic?
Yes.
Same.
I used to not, and now I love it, especially when I'm in the kitchen alone. If there's like other people in there, like someone's trying to help me, I actually prefer cooking by myself.
I actually learned this from Sammy, how she kind of romanticizes it and plays music and lights candles.
Yeah.
And I started doing that a few years ago after, I'm pretty sure, a recommendation. And it has made such a big difference in the way I like think about my food. But I think it's cool because one of my friends was actually telling me recently that it's great to kind of just set your parasympathetic nervous system right before you eat by like saying a prayer over your food or listening to some soothing music or something like that. So I think there's like a way to romanticize it and to enjoy it a little bit more. So I think that's great that you're experimenting in the kitchen.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. And yeah, Sammy's so cute when it comes to like food things and cooking. And she's doing a thing where like before she eats to like thank the food and thank like what it's going to give her and the nutrients and everything. And it's special. Like I really do want to dive into it and try it, but there's just so many more ways to enjoy like the food that's sitting on your table and like really accepting the nutrients and things that it's going to give you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you and Mark cook together?
He's not allowed in the kitchen. We tried it and I just cannot. He'll be like throwing in other spices or like telling me no spices. No, we just can't. I just have to. He can, if he ever wants to cook, he can, but I'll do it my way.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So that's a good tip for maintaining a long relationship.
Yeah.
What are your other tips
Oh my
for the
goodness.
girlies out there?
So Mark and I actually did long distance after college. So we were together for a little less than a year, and then we did long distance for a year when I was in New York and he was in LA. And I think it really forced us to become super independent outside of our relationship and not rely on one another so much. And I think we've still carried that over into our relationship today. Like we will prioritize seeing friends or spending time with family. And I think a lot of people, when they get into a relationship, you kind of lose touch with everyone else that you were involved with pre-relationship. And I think him and I have done a really good job at knowing like how important it is to still find time for like the other people and other things that we have in our life. So I think my biggest tip is still having that independence within your relationship. And then everyone says communication. I over communicate like it's no one's business. Mark tells me like I should keep some things to myself, but it's fine. And I feel like it's definitely saved us. It's working. Yeah. We've made it this far. It's been 5.5 years now. So obviously we're doing something right, but I think it's just so important to be independent outside of your relationship too.
Absolutely. I wish more people knew that because I think we've all had those friends, and I've honestly been this girl before where and this is like my first relationship. This was forever ago, but there's those girls out there that will completely abandon their friends and only spend time with their partner. And then, you never know what can happen, unfortunately. And a lot of those friends that I've had in the past have unfortunately ended things with their partner. And then they're kind of left in the dust. And you kind of have to rework some of those friendships. And you really have to like flower a friendship. It's like gardening, you know,
Yeah.
it's like you have to make sure that you're watering it. And I think whenever you aren't doing that, you're only setting yourself up for a disadvantage. And I think it's great to just have your own life outside of your relationship, because it's what grounds us. It's what gives us our self-worth. And I think it's essential for any working relationship.
I agree. And it's a hard line, I feel like, for friends to kind of teeter on, because you see your friend and they're so happy in this new relationship that you don't want to pull them out of that happiness, but you also want to make sure that they're still prioritizing the things that used to be important to them that still should be important, like their friendships or even their health. Like, I think a lot of my friends, of what I've seen, and honestly myself too, will prioritize spending time with their person and not doing that workout class that they used to sign up for, or like hitting the gym after work because they're excited to like go home and see their person. And I would just encourage you, like, your person will be there when you get back, and you have to make sure you still prioritize yourself outside of the relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's probably hard for some people to balance it, but I think that's a great recommendation. Just, you know, make sure that you have time allotted for both spending time with your partner and your friends, whether that's going to workout classes a few times a week with your friends, or getting together and like just having a girls' night. And I think there's ways to just create a balance. And I think some people just get a little jaded sometimes, but I think that's awesome that you guys just are vibing. And I think you are prioritizing yourself at the same time. And I think sometimes people feel guilty for prioritizing themselves, right? Yeah. So I think it's just essential for living to your fullest and your fullest potential. But I would love to know like other ways that you support yourself and like celebrate yourself and treat yourself, because I know that you work really hard. Is there anything specific that like you just love to do?
Oh my gosh. I'm not a big like shopper. Like that's just not where I choose to spend my money. But if someone invites me on a trip, hands down, no matter where it is, no matter when it is, like I'm going to say yes. And that's how I treat myself, is with plane tickets to wherever. Same. I am just always game for a vacation or a road trip or something like that. And those are how I treat myself. Like last year, my big treat, I had been working months and just like hadn't really had a break. And my friend was like, do you want to come to Hong Kong? I was like, fuck yes. Like,
oh my gosh,
get me to Hong Kong. And it was amazing. And it was just such a fun trip that was expensive. But looking back on it, I'm so grateful that I said yes and treated myself to that trip. And some people, it's like buying that pair of shoes. But yeah, for me, it's getting those airplane miles for sure.
I love that. I'm the same way. How was Hong Kong?
Incredible. One of the best cities I've ever been to.
I've flown into it, but I haven't actually gone into it. The airport's crazy. The airport was really crazy.
It was insane. It was so cool. I had no idea what to expect. I was honestly very nervous going. Have you ever been to Asia?
Yes.
Okay, I hadn't been to Asia, so I think I've
only been once, and it was at first I was intimidated.
Yeah, it's just intimidating. I don't know. It's so different.
So different.
And I had the whole first day that I was there, I was also completely alone exploring, which also added a level of nerves to me. But once I got there, oh my gosh, I walked so many miles. I was just bopping into coffee shop and restaurant and just like checking so many things out. It was so cool. I cannot wait to go back.
Solo traveling is so fun.
It is.
I recently just started doing it, honestly, like this past year, and it has been so fulfilling. Mm-hmm. I've learned so much about myself, but at the same time, I feel like I can really prioritize doing the things that I want to do, and I don't feel guilty about it. And it's kind of just this sense of calm. And I think that's great that you got to do that like right before a big trip.
Yeah.
Because you kind of just get to recenter and refocus and figure out what you want to do for the entirety of the trip. But I think Asia's super cool.
So
I think it's something that everybody needs to experience at some point. I went to Japan.
Oh my gosh, how was it?
So incredible.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
So incredible. I spent a lot of time there and then went to Thailand.
Wow.
And then I actually went to Singapore by myself for 12 hours.
Oh my god!
I want to go back there. I feel like I did not get enough time there.
Really?
Yeah. It was
12
really
hours
cool.
is too short.
It's way too short. I just had a layover and it was really long. And I was like, well,
Yeah, I'll
might as well go explore. But I think that's incredible. Do you work out on vacation? Are you an advocate for that?
I'm a form girly on vacation for sure. You'll see me in the hotel room doing it. If the hotel gym's nice, definitely going to take advantage of it. But also big walker. Like one of the days in Hong Kong, I just clocked like 13 miles, I think it was. And I was like, I don't need, like I knew I was going to walk a lot. So I didn't prioritize like an actual workout, or not that walking isn't an actual workout, but your traditional sense. So yeah, I need definitely find ways to get movement on vacation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to know your skincare routine. You are glowing. And I'd also like to know where your outfit is from.
Okay.
I'm doing a Pookie on you.
Thanks, Pookie. I'm Pookie's number one fan. I love them.
They're so cute. I feel like people dog on them so much. I am their biggest fan.
Me too. They're just doing them.
I want a Jot to bring me breakfast in bed, bring me my coffee. I want somebody
She's
to
treated
do
like
that.
a queen. Yeah.
She is.
Yeah. They're setting the bar high for other men. Like,
They are.
Yeah. They're so cute. Back to your question.
Yeah, Pookie.
I am so grateful that you commented on my skin, because I actually just got off Accutane. I was on it for 6 months. I literally finished 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh, how was it?
Awesome. And it's so different for everyone. It was awesome. Like, I'm so grateful that I went on it and did it. But in my skin before, it wasn't awful, but I wasn't confident walking out without makeup or like some sort of coverage on. And yeah, I loved my Accutane journey. I don't want to say I recommend it to everyone, but I kind of do. So thank you for saying that about my skin.
Absolutely. It looks so good.
And I also am a big like clean makeup gal.
You're into the non-pore clogging ingredients and products. I'd love to hear about what you use, because I feel like that's something people don't know a lot about. They just get recommended a product and don't realize what ingredients are in it, and it could actually be causing more harm than good.
Yeah.
So
I know. And what's a problem is a lot of brands that brand themselves as clean beauty are actually not. Like, you'll research, there's a website called the Acne Clinic, and you just copy and paste all the ingredients from your products into this, and it will tell you and identify which ingredients are pore clogging or not. Not kidding. I sat on my bathroom floor for 2 hours going through all my skincare, all my hair care, and all my makeup, and just tossed anything. I just tossed anything that had pore clogging ingredients in it. And so now I rotate between a few different things. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation is my go-to.
Me too.
It's also clean, and oh my gosh, it just looks...
Their concealer is great too.
Oh, I'm obsessed. So I use that and the concealer. And then blush, I have a few that I love. This Milk Makeup one is the one I'm currently obsessed with. That one's clean. And I actually don't use mascara. I use Aquaphor on my eyelashes. So just because clean mascara never stayed on, and then regular mascara, I just felt like I was like losing eyelashes. So I've stopped and I use Aquaphor, and it's honestly awesome.
Do you feel like it makes your eyelashes grow?
I feel like I've seen them grow for sure. Like, they were falling out because you wear the mascara and then you're like scrubbing your eyes. So I think they've been growing because they've taken a break from like the harsh treatment.
Right. They look great. They're so long.
Thanks.
You're lucky.
I'm an Aquaphor girl. I'm Aquaphor's number one fan.
No,
That is
same.
for sure.
That's my dream brand to work with.
Same. I wish I could be their face. I love Aquaphor.
Oh my gosh, we're manifesting it.
And then as for my fit, I actually just got these boots, and I have no idea how to pronounce the brand. AEYDE. 80. I thought they were like, they were kind of funky, so I got these.
They're
and
so
then
cute.
Girlfriend denim. And then this top is from Cider, but I'm a big Girlfriend denim girl right now.
Yes, they're amazing.
I posted a TikTok about it, and I got so much hate on the
Really?
video. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Everyone started calling it Heightgate. You need to watch it because it's actually very funny. But in the video, I'm talking about this other pair of jeans that I got from them, and I'm like, showing them. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so great. They're perfect for tall girls. I'm 5'5" and they're a little long on me. And everyone started chopping the video and being like, 5'5" is not tall. You're average height, blah, blah, blah.
You were just saying that it's long on you.
I was like, I'm 5'5", they're long on me. Like, that's why they're good for tall girls. I got ripped to shreds in the comments. And then people started like stitching the video. It was
Trolls are so
funny.
dumb.
I know.
Nobody talks about how incredibly dumb trolls are, because I always see videos of people very clearly and eloquently putting their point across, and I will still see people in the comments completely missing the point.
I know, people just find a way. It's so funny. I'm like, fine, like you can laugh at me, but height gate, you know?
Oh,
it got
gosh. Me. Wow.
Yeah.
It's okay. It happens. You're doing something great.
Yeah.
They're just jealous.
That's what I'm telling myself.
They're jealous because you look too good in the jeans.
They just want the jeans. They can't have them.
Your cool jeans. Well, I also think it's really cool that you're a fit model. Mm-hmm. So how did you get into that?
Oh my gosh. So my friend, who's actually Form's designer right now, I met her pre both of us being at Form, and she worked for Love and Lemons at the time, I believe it was. And when we first met, like one of the first things that she said to me was, you'd be such a good fit model. And I was like, what is a fit model? And she explained it to me and then connected me with this agency that she uses. And essentially a fit model is kind of like a human mannequin. Mm-hmm. All brands have one, and you're typically a size extra small or a size small. And you'll go to these brands' design headquarters and they'll put you in clothing and they'll measure it on you and they'll ask you like how it fits, and they like truly want your feedback, and they're going to change certain things about the clothing so it fits your body perfectly. And so I met with this agent and I started going to castings and fittings, and it's kind of just like my fun little side gig. I love seeing the behind the scenes of brands and like how they come out with their products. And I was fit modeling for Form when we came out with our first activewear collection. So it's just so fun to like be a part of the journey and try things on from when they were like truly scraps. And then you see people on the streets like wearing something that is fitted to your body.
That is so crazy.
It's so crazy. It's really weird.
That's wild. Yeah, I actually was my own fit model for our first collection.
No
for
way.
My swim line. And it was really wild, like seeing other people wearing it. I was like, this is really cool.
So cool.
I know, but
it's so special.
Yeah, it's definitely like a cool gig, and I think a lot of people aren't super aware of what it entails and what it means. And I think it's cool to be a part of the whole brand process and the journey of watching a product come to fruition like that.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so fun. You get like poked sometimes, or they're like taping you up. It's so fun. Poked. Like I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's amazing. Well, I have one last question.
Yeah.
This was so fun. I like don't want it to end. I feel like I could talk to you for like another like literal 12 hours. We could just stay up all night talking. But if you were to drink a martini and a bikini, where would you be and what would you be drinking?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I just told my friend today, I was like, we need to book a trip to Mallorca. And for some reason, Mallorca is just on my list right now. I can envision myself being there on the beach, drinking my martini that has tequila somehow in it. I'm just a tequila girl to my core.
Me too.
I wish there were like a traditional martini that had tequila in it, but just no one has it yet.
Why do I feel like being a tequila girl is kind of a blessing and a curse?
I agree. I so agree. It's the best. But yeah, I feel like any tequila drink always comes in like a big glass. But like all the other fun drinks are like vodka or gin. But I'm just a tequila girl at heart.
What's your favorite tequila?
Oh my gosh. I actually don't know if I have a favorite. I'm not too picky. Well, I say that. And then I try something that's cheaper and it's not that good. But honestly, like really anything. I don't discriminate against my tequila.
That's great. That's a great response.
Thanks.
I'm the same way. I've actually found out that they use some preservatives in a few tequilas. So there's like a few brands out there that like they normally have stocked up at the bar that don't. So I need to like look into that more.
So do I.
Yeah.
I actually got on the tequila train from being in college, obviously you're drinking a good amount. And I was like looking up what's the healthiest alcohol. And tequila is supposed to be one of the healthiest liquors that you can drink.
Yeah.
Because it's more natural. Not totally sure.
It has less calories
Yeah.
too. But I know like that's a whole different conversation
Yes.
in terms of calories and what a calorie means.
Literally. I know. So true. It can go so many ways. But yeah, I transitioned to tequila and haven't looked back since.
Yeah. Same. Well, I love that for us. If you want to share how people can be friends, how they can stay in touch, how they can just follow along for everything that you're doing, what Form's doing, let them know.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for having me. You can find me on Instagram at Shelby Silva, on TikTok at Shelby with 2 Y's Silva.
Whoa.
I know.
Fancy.
Had to spice it up a little bit over there. Keep things different. And then at Form on Instagram and at Shop Form if you want to shop our cute activewear.
Yes.
So fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, cheers again.
Cheers.
You were so fun to talk to. I don't want it to end.
I love getting to see you in LA. You need to come more.
I know.
And I'll see you when I'm in New York. Miss you too. It's been way too long.
I know. Well, we'll just have to make this happen again. You'll have to come on the show again in New York.
Anytime.
Yes.
I would love that.
Yes.
You're the best.
Oh, you're the best.
I love your show.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
Fangirling.
Well, if you liked this episode, please feel free to like, rate, and subscribe to Martinis and Bikinis on Spotify or Apple Podcast. I will love you forever, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
We've done so many cheers.
Can never have too many.